The Great North Run for me was absolutely amazing, and high-fiving Mo Farah as I went through through the start line was just absolutely amazing, because he wasn't running marathons at that point. I think he'd just come back from the Olympics. Yeah, because Greg Rutherford was there as well. High-fived him.
Yeah.
Both of them on the way through the start line. Training to run the marathon and having a newborn baby kind of inspired an idea for a book called Mum Runners. So it's about three mums of very different areas of life come together to run a marathon. They don't even realise there is any other marathons on the planet apart from the London Marathon. They think the London Marathon is it. So, they're all quite proud of announcing that they're running the London Marathon. But, they've never ran any distance at all in their lives.
Hi, my name is Michelle Lewis. 10 years ago, you'd have been lucky to see me run to the end of the road. These days, running is second nature to me. From marathons to park runs to putting my own running group through their paces. You'll often see me in suitably loud attire, getting ready to pound the pavements. And here's a secret, if I can do it, you can too. There's so many wonderful and inspiring stories in the world of running. And not just running, some of my favourite tales involve those who take to their wheelchairs, bikes or simply their own trusty feet in an attempt to get fitter, faster or just have some fun. In this podcast, I'm going to be in conversation with some of the most inspiring and fascinating of these people. Remember, it's your time, your speed, your way. The only person you need to keep up with is yourself. Welcome back to the Running Tales podcast. This week I've been talking to author Kath Kirkland. Kath wrote her debut novel, Mum Runners, after her own journey saw her start running to lose her baby weight and take on the iconic London Marathon. We chatted about running in the rain, how snooker sometimes beats marathons, and the freedom you get on a good run.
When I had my son, I was obviously off work, and I thought, wouldn't it be a great idea to run the marathon? So I got a place for a charity and started running. Haven't really done any running before that, so it was a challenge. So yeah, I started training, but it was a bit of a problem. With a newborn baby, not sleeping very much, it was a chore. I did get an injury, so I did have to pull out of the London Marathon, sadly. But it's kind of got me back into wanting to run a lot.
You have a baby. Most women would say that's a challenge in itself. What made you think, I'll have another big challenge?
Mainly to lose weight, really. All the baby weight. I thought that would be a really good idea. I did enjoy running when I was at school, but obviously you didn't really do very much. But, and I did find, running a very good way to lose weight. And I thought, yeah, why not?
When you started running, did you join a club or was it yourself just getting out there, walking, running? What was your plan?
I did have a personal trainer, obviously trying to lose the baby weight and get myself active again. So he got me back into running, and we did a lot of running. And I had to pull out the London Marathon, but I did then run the Great North Run a couple of years later. And for that, I had a different personal trainer who got me through that as well. So that was really helpful.
Did you make any running buddies on this journey?
Yeah, I think I've met a few. I've probably lost contact with some of them now, but yeah, I have met a few people, and it's surprising when you say about running how many people go, yeah, I run as well. And when you're outside running, you don't see many people. So you think, you're probably the only one doing it, but actually there's loads of people that run. Some people you wouldn't even imagine enjoy running, but they do. It's like a hidden talent that people have. And then there's some that can't run anything, but...
True. So we go years back, and I've known you, how many years? Over 20 odd years, and you definitely wasn't into running then. You're definitely a sporty person, football mad, watch any sport. So running was not too much of a surprise for me, but physically I never saw you ever run a step, put trainers on. The years we knew each other back in the day.
Yeah, and I think that it was the baby weight that was the kiddie. It was like, I need to do something that's, kind of enduring, and I needed a goal. So instead of, saying I'll set a 5 5k goal. You know, I said I'm going to run the marathon. It's got to be big, otherwise it's not worth it really. But that's just me and my personality. I always look big and try and look for the biggest goal. Like I say, it's having a baby and just the weight that comes on, and you know, having that time to yourself as well when you're out running. You know, but when you've had no sleep and you think, oh my gosh, I've got to run so many miles today. You know, it's a big challenge. But actually, when I did get out and go for a run after having no sleep, I felt 100 times better, because, you know, exercising is great. You know, and my husband used to say, gosh, you've had no sleep, now you've gone for a run and you're full of energy.
Yeah, it's true.
Running is just so good, so good.
And do you still run now?
I'm starting to get back into training, because I did have a place in the London Marathon this year, which I deferred till the following year. That was my plan. Kept applying, because I didn't want to go through a charity again, because there's just a lot of pressure on how much money. Obviously, I will raise money for charity, but I didn't want to, you know, say, there's your place in the charity and you've got to raise X, Y, Z, and then get an injury again and feel really bad about it. Yeah, so I've deferred it till next year, which now I've got until October next year.
True.
So I've got even more time. Yeah, I need to get back out there, but I'm not very good at running in the heat. So all the heat we had recently, I couldn't do that. But now the rain is here. I love the rain. I love running in the rain. So nice. So yeah.
That's what we can hear in the background maybe, is the raindrops on your conservatory roof.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
And it was interesting that you said afterwards, oh, I fancy going out running in this because it's your favourite running weather. That's good.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you do when you do go out, do you just focus on distance, thinking, I'll just do a mile, 2 miles, or do you plan hill sessions, tempo runs? Or are you just someone that just goes out, runs round the block?
Yeah, I'm just a plodder. Yeah. I just plod round. I've got no ambition. I mean, you know, when I finally do run the marathon, I'm not going to say I'm going to do it sub 4 hours or sub 5 hours, or, you know, I'm just going to run it. You know, I'm not...
Best attitude.
Yeah, I'm not in it to you know, to do the best time and all the rest of it. I just want to say I've done it. It's an achievement. It's, you know, it's one of them things you tick off your bucket list, you know. The London Marathon is, to me, the most iconic marathon out there. You know, there are hundreds of them, but to me, I think that's, you know, that's the cream of the marathons. That's the best one. And I think to run it and to say you've run it and to get that medal is just an amazing achievement.
True. I've done 15 marathons and not one of them's London because I cannot get in.
No,
so
well, this is
well done for getting a place.
Exactly. I mean, like I say, I think I tried 7 years in a row on my own to get in, and I was chuffed to bits when I got in. Obviously, I was a bit panicking that I now need to start training again, and like I say, now I've got some extra time. But it's like the Great North Run. The reason why I did that one, because I think that's the most iconic out of all the half marathons. You know, there's loads of half runs. You know, there's the Great South Run, the Great Midlands Run, but the Great North Run for me was absolutely amazing. And high-fiving Mo Farah as I went through through the start line was just absolutely amazing, because he wasn't running marathons at that point. I think he'd just come back from the Olympics. Yeah, because Greg Rutherford was there as well. High-fived him.
Yeah.
Both of them on the way through the start line, which was absolutely amazing. So it's just an amazing experience.
I have to ask, with the Great North Run, mile 11, did you have a beer?
A beer?
Yeah,
no.
mile 11. Oh, you must have been in the zone and just went right past. How did you miss the beer at mile 11?
I didn't know. I saw the
top of the hill, and then it was
Really?
down and to the finish.
Oh.
Unless that's a more recent years.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I can't remember how many years ago it was now. It must have been about 6 or 7 years ago, maybe more. But I remember the jelly babies and the sports drinks.
The crowd is amazing, isn't it? In Newcastle.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah, it was an amazing event, and I do want to run more now for that. The whole, you know, atmosphere and stuff, and the support. You know, everyone just shouting out your name as you're running past. you're like, oh, they're shouting at me.
You feel famous.
Yeah, you feel really good. Yeah, definitely.
So you live in Milton Keynes. Are you a visitor at all at your local park runs? You have a couple round here.
Yeah, I don't get to the park runs, but I do belong to the David Lloyd Redway Runners, which has got thousands of members now.
I think they've hit 4,000, I believe, or they're close to.
One of my friends was number 7 when she signed up all them many years ago, and she's quite proud of that. But they have so many different groups, beginners, complete beginners, and then, you can step up to 5K, 10K, marathon training, and they're absolutely so helpful and inspiring. It doesn't matter who's at the back, there's always somebody there from the running team at the back, keep an eye on you. There's no pressure, there's no pressure about, come on, you need to go faster, or it really is lovely and helpful and supportive, because the beginning runs is just full of very unfit people.
Well, or just those that have just never run in their life.
Exactly.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You said about London Marathon being iconic, but I see Milton Keynes being one of the marathons in the UK that's getting larger.
Yeah.
I've run it myself a couple of years ago. Have you thought about running your home marathon?
No.
Is it because you live here?
No, it clashes with a really major sporting event that I'm absolutely glued to, unfortunately. It's the World Championship with the snooker final, and I can't miss that.
Okay, right. I love the dedication. Right, so let's move on then to...
Sorry about that, it's on the wrong day.
So let's move on to what you do and what's become your passion and you're making a career of, and that is you're now an author.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've been writing for years, but never really done anything with it. And training to run the marathon and having a newborn baby kind of inspired an idea for a book called Mum Runners. So it's about three mums of very different areas of life come together to run a marathon. They don't even realise there is any other marathons on the planet apart from the London Marathon. They think the London Marathon is it. So they're all quite proud of announcing that they're running the London Marathon, but they've never ran any distance at all in their lives. So they find each other on Jogging Buddy, they live quite close to each other, and they start training, and then they become absolutely firm friends, and they start to enjoy the training, and they start to enjoy the achievements. So
is this based on any particular people, or is it just from your experience, what you've seen talking to others or reading social media, movies, whatever, that gave you this inspiration?
I mean, probably some of the characters are kind of based loosely on people I know, because obviously that's what creates the characters.
Yeah.
Bits and pieces that other people, sort of other traits that people have got. But I think probably no, it really just came from my complete imagination, really. So
where can you get Run Mummies?
Mum Runners.
Mum Runners, sorry. Mum Runners, see, I need correcting myself there.
Yeah,
Mum Runners.
It's on Amazon. It's available on Amazon. And I'm actually in the middle of writing this, well, not in the middle of, I'm actually just finished writing the sequel to Mum Runners. When I started, I had no intention of writing a sequel. I just thought that was it. That was the book. It was about running the London Marathon, end of. But all my readers said, I want to know what happens to these people.
Oh, wow.
Can you write some more? So I thought about it, and I thought, well, actually, yeah, why not? And then writing it it's been an absolute pleasure, because the characters are like friends that I haven't seen for a few years now, and I've got back with them, and it's just absolutely wonderful. And I'm now thinking, now I'm thinking of some other ideas for some other for other sequels, And I mean, when I did write Mum Runners, I mean, it did take me a long time because I was working and it was difficult to fit it in, but since the lockdown, I've written the entire Mum Runners Florida Vacation, which is the sequel.
Okay.
Because I've had loads of time. So when I wrote Mum Runners, the original one, I kept writing it and kept changing it. I didn't want it to end, because it was almost like when I'd finished it, it was like a bereavement. Those characters were like my friends.
Okay.
And they weren't there anymore. So having the ability and you know, and having the interest to write a sequel made me feel really good again. I really enjoyed writing it, and that's really, I think I do need to write some more, because they are great characters. I love them to bits. You know, they're also very different, and it's been an absolute pleasure. So thanks to my readers that asked me to do that, because it's something I never would have thought about.
Also, do I get the impression then that this could be a sequel to this, so there could be a third book?
I think so. I think there might be.
You've got so much information that you can share.
I've got so many ideas now that I could take it. I don't know where they're going to go next, but from London to Florida, I'd have to think of where they could go next. Or maybe they just stay at home and something happens. I don't know.
Well, you could do the COVID experience, you know, the lockdown experience. We all suffered there, you know, so that'd be a good one.
Yeah, because one of the mums has got 6 boys, so that might have been a bit of a challenge.
Exactly. You heard it here first on Running Tales.
Absolutely.
The rain is pouring down. You want to get your trainers on. Before you go off, let me ask you, what would you say to anyone thinking about starting running? What tips?
Slowly. Even if it means just walking. Just walk for, 10 minutes, run for a couple. Walk for 10, run for a couple. Don't say, I'm going to go out and I'm going to run 10 miles flat, because that won't happen. You'll just get injured. Yeah, just walk and run. At least you're out, and then it will give you more incentive to get going. And if you sort of run, for 2 minutes and then walk for 5, and then next time you go for a run, you run at like 3 minutes, and then you're increasing yourself, and and you're not injuring yourself. That's the biggest problem that a lot of people do. They go out, never ran before, say, I run 10 miles yesterday, and then they can't walk for several weeks because they're injured. So, but it really is, it doesn't cost anything. You don't have to go into a gym and feel inferior. During the COVID, obviously you couldn't drive anywhere, so I was just running around the block. If you just run around the block, there's so many apps on your phone that measure your distance or give you training plans and stuff. There's so much help. Or find a local running club. They'll be really, really helpful.
So lots of support is out there.
Yeah, definitely.
Great advice from Kath. I'd highly recommend Mum Runners, and can't wait for the sequels. A trip to Florida. Sounds fun. I hope you enjoyed this week's Running Tales podcast. Please, please, please leave us a rating or review wherever you listen. It helps other people find us so they can listen too. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next week for another Running Tale.